Learning behavior. W.H. Throp in 1963 defined the behavior as the process which manifests itself by adaptive changes in individual behavior as a result of experience. Lawrence in 1969 has defined learning as an adaptive change in behavior that results from experience. We will explain it with the example of a baby toad that captures its prey, which is a tiny bug, and again brought to lab, experimented to feed on different insects followed by millipedes. And the new learned behavior appears in toad with the passage of time. Let's see how the change of food preference in toad resulted in a new behavior, learned, i.e. adopting favorable foraging method and avoiding the toxic insects. Through this example we will learn either this toad will eat millipede or with the passage of time will learn to avoid the poisonous insects like millipede. 1st observed behavior pattern in baby toad while feeding on bugs. Baby toad loses its tail. Searches for food. Encounters a tiny moving bug. Orient towards object. Opens its mouth. Flip out its tongue. Strike the prey. Withdraw the tongue. And the creature stuck to it and eaten. In the end of such behavior pattern, we conclude that if a baby toad encounters a tiny moving bug for the first time after losing its tadpole tail and hopping onto land, it will be able to perform the stereotyped prey capture behavior of its species. Some would argue that this is an innate response to a certain class of stimuli. 2nd observed behavior patterns in baby toad while feeding on different insects. Now, if the toad is taken into a laboratory after having matured further, it can be offered various insects under controlled conditions. A hungry, cooperative toad will go through the routine of snapping up flies, mealworms and other edible creatures presented to it. While the toad is being fed on different insects in the laboratory. And the experimenter then places poisonous millipede. At first toad take it in mouth as bait. But when the millipede responds by exuding a violently nauseating substance from pores on its body, the toad will spit and push the prey from its mouth. Later on, this toad will refuse to attack this millipede species even though it is hungry and will take edible insects eagerly instead of millipede. The toad's behavior has changed. Now that toad will respond with a changed behavior. The change continues for some time and is adaptive, i.e., it makes biological sense for the toad not to waste its time trying to eat an animal that is poisonous. This newly developed behavior is the learned behavior. Its altered behavior can be traced to a discrete event in the toad's lifetime. The animal has learned to avoid this millipede after having tasted just once. Toad also can learn with equal facility not to attack other dangerous prey, such as stinging bumblebees and honeybees.